Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestlers Way and to another edition of Smackdown Out 10. It's a big episode of Smackdown today. We've got major developments on the road to day one. Of course, the return of Brock Lesnar and possibly even a title match, which kind of wasn't a title match, in our main event. So yeah, lots happening and of course storylines up and down the card. So let's get straight into it with Brock Lesnar, who was back and he kicked off Smackdown. Sami Zayn interrupted Brock to remind him that he was the number one contender. Sami said that he would face Roman at day one and would give Brock the first title shot if he won. Lesnar insisted that Zayn should face Roman for the title tonight, and he was too scared to say no. Poor Sami. But yeah, this is a good start to the show. It all ties in with the characters, so yeah, this was good. And then after a break, Sami tried to tell Sonya to tell Brock that the match was impossible to book tonight, but when Lesnar showed up, Sonya went ahead and booked the match for tonight. Yeah, this was a really good start to SmackDown, really entertaining stuff. And then let's get straight into the first proper match, which was Sasha Banks versus Shayna Baszler. Baszler went for a Karafuda clutch, but Sasha got out of it. Banks got an arm drag before sending Baszler into the apron off the counter. Banks then got a Meteora and Baszler got a near fall off a strike before Banks went in for the Karafuda clutch, but she managed to reverse it into a bank statement. Sasha rolled Baszler up before she could hit her finisher and picked up the win. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. This was a decent match. I mean, I would have liked to see Shayna Baszler get more offense in because, you know, it's just so inconsistent in her booking, but, you know, good win for Sasha Banks. It was fine. Before backstage, Adam Pearce told Sonya that she would be gone for the night and left her in charge, possibly due to the return of Brock. Drew was looking for Pearce to ask him why he wasn't included in the Battle Royal, and Sonya told him he'll have to wait. Before Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss were out, the duo made fun of Jeff and Drew. Corbin said Moss to attack Drew before Hardy surprised him behind with a twist of fate. Moss ran back inside and took one as well before Drew ran in for a Claymore before the heels retreated. Yeah. Decent segment, just something for McIntyre and Hardy to do while they wait for the next storylines. And the Corbin-Moss partnership is really entertaining. It's one whole, this was good. And then we got another package for Jai Lee, who's debuting next week. Looking forward to that. Before we got Viking Raiders versus Los Cesarios. Eric came out and took Angel down right off the gate before Eric dropped Ivar on Giles before Humberto came in and took out Ivar. The authorities were in control when Boogs was seen playing the announcer set. The distraction ended up costing Viking Raiders the pin. After the match, the Viking faced off with Nakamura and Boo, but they played Boo's entrance music and defused the situation. I mean, like, this was very weird. I mean, can the Viking Raiders just have something more serious to do? It was fun because I like Los Cesarios, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Before backstage, Toni Storm said that she was not afraid of Charlotte, while Flair was bothered by her presence. She wants to face the Smackdown Women's Champions soon. Before the Usos were out and said that Sami would be stupid to challenge Roman tonight, King Woods came out for his match with the Usos before welcoming Sir Kofi back on SmackDown, and then we did get King Woods versus Jay. Woods hit a big neck breaker early on before Jimmy Uso got involved and the match went outside and the ref called for a disqualification finish. Kofi came in and hit Trouble in Paradise before the New Day beat the Usos out of the ring. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, like, this is the wider stuff. It set the basis, because after the match, the New Day challenged the Usos to a match at day one. So yeah, it set the basis for it, and on the whole, it was pretty decent, I would say. So yeah, I'll give it 7 out of 10. Backstage, Roman asked Heyman if he knew about Brock's plan ahead of the time, and Paul said he had no idea. Roman said that he would beat Sami Zayn, and if Brock interfered, he would take him out as well. Before Charlotte Flair was out next and said she knew Toni Storm's plan and intended to ignore her. She said that last week's stunt made Toni get noticed and that a match with Cher would boost her career. Still, Charlotte refused to give Storm the match before walking out. Storm sneaked up behind Flair and did exactly the same. The Queen was fuming, and yeah, this was very entertaining after everything that's happened in the last week. I kind of expected it, but yeah, this was really, really good. And I'm looking forward to seeing Charlotte's reaction next week now. Before we got Sheamus versus Cesaro, you could see them going up against each other again. They traded uppercuts as the match got started before chops were hit by Sheamus. Cesaro came back with some fists before the Swiss Superman drew Sheamus over the barricades with an uppercut. Cesaro got the double stomp but missed the neutralizer. Sheamus got the broke kick off the counter and picked up the W. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Short but sharp, really, really good stuff. A heavyweight match to say the least. And yeah, I hope we get more between these two, and maybe a possible uniting again, possibly, who knows. But yeah, just enjoying this storyline. Before Sami Zayn was out next for his Universal Championship match, but backstage Naomi challenged Sonya to a singles match. Deville threatened her and then slapped Naomi in the face after accepting the challenge. I mean, this is not going to happen, is it? Before the match, Sami Zayn said that Texas was his least favourite place in America and he didn't want to win the Universal title here, but he said he had to. The Beast Incarnate walked out to watch the match. Sami hinted at Brock to help him before reminding Brock he would have to face Roman. Brock wasn't happy and hit 3 suplexes and an F5 and then a second F5 before walking out, and then Roman just walked out, hit a couple of moves, a spear and a guillotine, and that was it basically. Roman Reigns retained, and yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, it sets the seeds perfectly for day one, and yeah, it really only increased my enthusiasm for that match. But overall this week, SmackDown gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, this is a really, really solid episode of SmackDown, I would say. Slowly starting to build up to day one perfectly now. We've got the big match. I thought it would come at Mania, but you know, the earlier the better, I suppose you could say. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, the rest of the card looks like it's going on nicely too. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Don't your thoughts, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, link description for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel on the screen right now. It would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching.